What's going on, guys? Zuko back with another Shadowlands video. Shadowlands video. Oh, we got Hero here. He's right here. He's testing out Destro in season 4. I think he's probably gonna yell Poggies or something. Anyway, we're here on Ellie Shaman, and we are looking at a dungeon that I did. I did an Iron Dogs plus 11. I'm gonna get to the video in a second. I just want to talk about the build that I ran, and we're going to talk about the seasonal affix, which is Shrouded now, right? So, you guys know, I don't even have my scarf. This is going well. You guys know, of course, that the seasonal affix is Shrouded. We're just going to leave the scarf like that, okay? He just put a gate right in front of me. The seasonal affix is Shrouded. It, of course, has a bunch of Dreadlords that have infiltrated each dungeon. They give you a stat buff that you get to pick at the beginning of each dungeon. And you're going to see in this build, I actually picked Mastery for my Elemental Shaman build. This is a deeply rooted elements Ellie Shaman fire build. So we have deeply rooted here. Lava Burst has a chance to activate Ascendance, right? We are Necrolords. We get the extra haste and the extra Flame Shock from Primordial Wave. Very, very good. And then the talents that I'm running are pretty standard. Master the Elements, Primal Elemental, Stormkeeper, and Echo. This is what you're going to be running here. And the Stormkeeper is basically just to fill in the AoE gaps. AoE has never been an issue for Elemental Shaman. But this build actually helps with what Elemental Shaman tends to struggle with, which is single target damage. So you're going to see on the boss fights here, I'm actually doing a lot of extra damage that maybe I wouldn't have been doing normally before. So the tier set bonus, of course, helps with that as well. When your Fire Elemental is active, your Lava Burst does more damage. So the goal of this build, guys, is to press Lava Burst as much as possible to buff the next Earthquake, and then the Earthquake will do 20% more damage once we get enough Maelstrom to spend it. You want to just alternate between Lava Burst, Earthquake, and you're fishing for the Ascendance procs from Deeply Rooted. That's the build. That's the entire build. It's a lot of fun, and it worked out quite well in this dungeon, in the Iron Docks, and at the beginning of this dungeon, I take Mastery as my stat. So what Mastery does, of course, for Ellie Shaman is it gives you a chance to overload. Now, at the end of this dungeon, I actually get above 100% Mastery, which is not actually good because you don't, I don't think they can trigger a third, I don't think you can do an additional overload, but what I was trying to get to was an even like 100%, but I actually overshot it. But we were just testing out a build, and it actually ended up working out quite well. So let's get to the VOD. Let's look at the build itself, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the dungeon as we do it. Let's make this big. Okay, so here's us going in. Let me get the sound correct here. So you can see I talked to this guy, and I picked Mastery. So I've already got the Mastery buff in the top right-hand corner here. Watch the first opening pack here. This is pretty cool. We do a lot of damage. Get my Stormkeeper ready. Get Fire Elemental out. And you want to spread Flame Shocks. The biggest part of this build is spreading Flame Shocks. As soon as it's off cooldown, you press Flame Shock. Because if you're deeply rooted triggers, it's going to send a Lava Burst at everybody that has Flame Shock on them. So it's very, very important. So look at our damage right out of the gates. Again, AoE damage, not a struggle for Ellie Shaman. You are going to do less AoE damage overall if you're versus like Echo the Elements, right? But I believe you're going to do more single target damage, like by a good chunk actually. So I think it evens out in the end. Again, you can see I have 1, 2, 3, 4 Flame Shocks out now, and I gotta get a proc right here. Look at my proc. Here comes all the meatballs. Look at all that, right? That's pretty cool. Now we're up to 27k. Like, this is the kind of damage you can do anyway. If I was doing Echoes of the Great Sundering, I would probably end up getting like 40, 50k here, maybe even higher, and that's fine. But on every pack, you can basically expect to get between 20 and 30k as with this build. And the less targets you have, the more damage you will do versus the Echoes of the Great Sundering build. Because you're pressing Lava Burst, and your Lava Burst just does so much extra damage. And when you get those procs for Deeply Rooted, it ends up being really, really good. So our tank does a really big mistake here. He pulls too much. This is a very dangerous section of the Iron Docks. You have to be very careful when you're in this section. You can't pull this guy over here. You don't want to pull this middle section here because this is where the Miniboss is. The Shrouded Affix Miniboss is right there. So you're going to see here, it starts out fine. Again, I'm alternating between Lava Burst and Earthquake as much as possible. Big damage. But right here, I think somebody either butt pulls this guy over here or hits them with a dot or something, because they pull right now. I'm not sure what happened there. It wasn't me. There's my ascendants going off. We're doing good damage here. But now we've pulled way too much. And now the big boss guy is here, and we're about to die like several times in a row. So if you don't know, the new Shrouded Miniboss, you will spawn a bat. This is the hypnotic bat. It'll start channeling hypnosis. If it gets to its full channel, it will mind control one of your allies, and it's very, very bad. Then you have to break them out with a shield. If you CC this bat in like any way, it'll stop it. If you fear it, if you paralyze it, if you stun it, if you incap it, like whatever you want to do, you can do it, and then it will stop it from doing its thing. The other thing that the mini-boss does is Shadow Eruption. This is the big purple circle right here. Does a lot of AoE damage. You want to stand out of that. The last thing that he does is called Blood Siphon. You can see there's a big shield around the mini-boss right now. He's going to siphon the blood out of all of us, and we have to basically, he has a shield on him. We have to break through that shield and then kick his blood siphon, and that will stop him from casting. So I'm going to skip ahead here because this is a complete disaster. We do end up killing him eventually, but it takes a while. And this is kind of what messes up our dungeon pull. But here's the last AoE pack. There's another Dreadlord. Last thing I'll say about the mini-boss is when you do kill him, he gives you 3 stacks of your buffs. You can see we've killed 2 Dreadlords plus the mini-boss. So 3 Dreadlords in total, but we have 5. And he gives you 3 buffs. So my mastery's already at like 70% by now. So I'm almost overloading like all the time. So we kill this pack, and then we move on to the boss. Boss fight. This is the guy on his little warg. I think it's a big warg, right? Maybe it's a wolf. Anyway, we have big damage right out of the gates. We got an Ascendance proc, which is really good. And we have Lust going. We're just pumping damage here. Again, our build, I think, does a lot more single target damage than the Echoes of the Great Sundering build would do, because we're like fully invested into Lava Burst, and they have to cast like an Earth Shock into an Earthquake to get real value out of their legendary. So this dog's going to run around and attack people, and then there's going to be fire on the ground. That's most of this fight. He does Savage Mauling. He's going to do it at me here. I don't really understand if you take more damage if he's near you. I feel like I'm not taking any extra damage, so I think he just kind of fixates on somebody and does that Savage Maul thing, and it does a set amount of damage whether you run away from him or not. So we're doing lots of damage. We kill this guy. He also has a shield that he does that will fear you if you attack him while he has his shield up. But that's it. I just want to blow past that. One thing I want to say about this dungeon right here, these 2 big laborers, you can bring them. Your tank can like bring them into the next section over here, and then you can roll over them with a boulder, and you should absolutely do that on every dungeon run. It's way, way more efficient versus just like killing them straight up. So our tank didn't know about that. That's okay. So like, we should take them into the next section, but we're just going to kill them here. And then everybody does the boulders. If you don't know what the boulders are, these next 3, these are the big boulders here. Anybody can interact with them, and then you roll them down a line. They have a fixed like width that they can go down, and you want to try and hit as many enemies as you can. The tank can grab all of these enemies up and like line them up perfectly so that you can min-max the boulder damage. And you should do that every single time you do it, or else it's just going to take you longer than it should. Everything you kill with a boulder does count for percentage, so you're very much incentivized to just roll over as many guys as you can, okay? We're going to kill this pack right here. Again, we're doing fine damage. Then we get to the next section. Oh, not quite yet. This is the last pack before this last section. See the bombs going off in the background, guys? These are cannonballs coming from the ship. There's a... I just got a big Ascendance proc there. That was pretty sick. Let's look at that again. Ready for this? Boom! Boom, boom, boom. Look at all the lava bursts, man. Who does not want to play this build? It's so much fun. Anyway, this next section is they're lobbing cannonballs right there. If you walk out there, you will die. So you have to wait until they stop hitting, and then you can run through. But you're going to see he's going to start to cast it again. Boom! He just cast it right there. So we need to run. We need to book it. Go, 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 go. Get around this corner and LOS right around here. Now, with quaking, it's actually particularly dangerous because you don't want to stack up too closely, but you don't want to be too far away. So, again, spread flame shocks, guys. I just got an Ascendance proc, and it only hit like 2 people. So that's the importance of spreading flame shocks. Otherwise, your legendary is just being less effective, right? Another proc. Boom. Look at the damage we're doing. 25k. It's awesome, man. I think the Deeply Rooted build on Ellie Shaman is much, much more viable versus the Enhancement Shaman build because you can get 2 charges of Lava Burst. It just means that you can press Lava Burst all the time, and then you'll also be getting resets on it. Whereas, like, Enhancement Shaman has 1 cast of Storm Strike, and then they're hoping to get a reset on it, which, with their tier set bonus, they definitely can, but, like, you get way more resets as an Ellie Shaman. You just do. That's just the bottom line. Again, we've got to dodge the boulders, or the cannonballs, before going to the next section. Then we can go kill this last pack, and then we have the boss fight coming up. Second boss fight here. It's a it's a triad boss fight, and it's very good for our build. So you're gonna see that right out of the gates here, we just start slapping damage. I'm gonna go Flame Shock into Primordial Wave into Lava Burst, and we're just gonna go. I'll get the 3rd Flame Shock out in a second here. Okay, there's my 3rd Flame Shock. We have 3 Flame Shocks out now. We're just literally gonna get to press Lava Burst into Earthquake, into Lava Burst, into Earthquake. It's like crazy. You gotta watch out for these waves. You want to kill Nox first. Nessa Nox, you want to kill her first, because she does those annoying, like, flame waves. And the other guy's just basically hurting the tank the whole time, which is, it's not that bad. But again, lots of Lava Burst. Big proc on Ascendance there. Into Earthquake, into Lava Burst. Back into Earthquake again. Every time you press Lava Burst, your next Earthquake will do 20% more damage if you have it ready to go. Obviously, you can spend that buff on Chain Lightning or something, but if you can spend it on Earthquake, spend it on Earthquake, because it does so much damage. I greed a little cast right here. Look at how close this gets. That's greed right there, baby. And again, we're just slapping damage. We're almost doing 20k on a boss fight, which is awesome. I do get Fire Locked like an absolute idiot. But we get lots of meatballs to make up for it. Look at it. We're just slapping, man. It's so awesome. I love this build. It's so much fun. That's the fight. There is like a shield as well that I think you can maybe purge. The 3rd chick gets a shield you can purge. Then there's like a corridor here with big cleft hoofs. I'm going to skip through this, okay? Sorry for the skipping. Boom, 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 boom. Skip, 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 skip. Let's get to the next boss fight. We do get a big chunk of damage there. Here we go. Here's the next boss. This is Oshir. He's like a big werewolf. He basically goes and opens up different cages that are scattered around the encounter, and he will release enemies to come hurt you. Okay, so he also has a frontal that he just did right there. He kind of walks forward and does a frontal. He's about to go open a cage right here, and he's going to let loose some wolves. So it's random which cage he goes to. This cage right here is particularly dangerous because these wolves do a lot of damage. I think they just fixate on any enemies. Like, I don't think the tank can easily grab aggro on them. They seem to just kind of run after whoever they wanted to run after. So I would suggest you pop some big AoE cooldowns here and nuke them down. He's going to do his frontal again right here. Slice, 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 slice. You want to do not stand in that. Then he's going to jump to the next cage. He does time to feed, which is like a single target where he locks you in place and does a crazy amount of damage. He doesn't stun you, so you can keep attacking him, and you can use defensives. So this monk popped Karma, which was a really good idea. But again, look at our single target damage here. Like, we're doing 15.5k versus the other guys. It's mostly been single target up to this point. Like, it's just really strong. Our damage is really, really strong. This is another enemy. Like, you can, they were saying you could trap or hex this guy so that you don't even have to deal with him. But we kind of messed it up and put a bunch of dots on him. So then I get time to feed on me. I almost die here, actually. But I do get Fleshcraft back, and I could live with Fleshcraft if I needed to. But I can keep attacking the boss here. Not a big deal. I think I Fleshcraft at the end here just in case. And then he's opening one more cage. These are wolves again. And I die to the wolves because we didn't stun them in time. But you can see our damage on bosses is great. It's pretty awesome, actually. Oh, I just checked right there. At this point, our mastery is at 101%. So I actually didn't overclock it by too much because we're not going to pick up any extra Dreadlord buffs here. So we literally have a 100% chance to trigger an overload. So we're guaranteed to get overloads on our Lightning Bolt, our Chain Lightning, and our Lava Burst. So that's really kind of cool. I don't think that it's actually that valuable. It's probably nowhere near as valuable as like Haste or Crit. But I just wanted to try it out, and it was kind of fun to see that we could get all the way to 100%. So here's the final boss here. Okay. What you want to do here, there's an add in the turret, and then Koromar's out here. This is Skulloc over here, and Koromar whatever. Oh, the Skulloc's out here. The guy in the turret is, I forget his name. He's got another name. But anyway, he will keep firing in the turret until you kill Koromar. So kill Koromar first as quickly as you can. And then the other guy will come out of his turret and he'll stop pelting you. You can see 2K meme has this. He's getting focused by the turret. So you're going to get blasted backwards by Skulloc as well. And you're going to have to take cover and make sure that you don't die when he starts raining cannonballs on you. So here comes the smash. You got to hide behind one of these walls.
Range 5.
Unfortunately, our hunter dies here. We actually might have been able to time this if he didn't die right there. But we had lots of other deaths. It's not like his fault. We had a lot of other deaths. So we're going to finish off Koromar. You can see every lava burst that I throw overloads. It's so cool, guys, honestly. Watch the amount of lava bursts that come out right here. Boom, 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 boom. It's just awesome. Then you can see Zogosh has come out from the turret. He's not hitting us with the turret anymore. The fight becomes much, much easier. As soon as you kill the first guy, it gets way, way easier. So then you kill Zogosh, and then you kill Skulloc. Okay? That's the whole fight. He's going to launch us once again. We actually get very close. We have a minute left here to try and kill him. Even with 18 deaths, we almost timed this. But we just run out of time right as he does this last little smash. And our timer runs out. It was so sad. Honestly, if the hunter hadn't died, we might have been able to do it because he would have been doing more damage. But anyway, not a big deal. So we do end up killing him. Let's look at the build. Let's look at the build here. Let me go back to gameplay. Let's look at it. So what's really fun about this build is that just getting the feeling of having deeply rooted elements go off feels so fantastic. Like it just feels really, really good. And it's really great now with the tier set bonus because it buffs your lava burst damage. It makes it worth it in an AoE situation to press lava burst in hopes of getting that trigger. And then you're also going to be overloading a lot, and then you're just going to be buffing your earthquake, which is AoE damage anyway. You're just not really pressing chain lightning anywhere near as much as you would be. So we did 14.5k overall. This is like my first time really trying this, and I ran mastery as my stat. If I had run like crit maybe or haste, it would probably be better. Or versatility. I mean, any one of those might have been better. But you can see chain lightning damage isn't super high over here. But what's this? Chain lightning overload damage is like double what my chain lightning damage is. Because it's guaranteed to overload. And the overload was just doing so much extra damage. My lava burst did 24%. My lava burst overload did 17.7%. So like guaranteeing that these spells are going to overload gave me a lot of extra damage just for free. It's just free extra damage. That's what's really cool about it. And that's what I kind of love about this. The playstyle is so much fun. Guys, it's just so much fun. I can't tell you how fun it is. Basically, the only thing you need to remember is press Flame Shock on cooldown. And in an AoE situation, you're pressing Lava Burst, not Chain Lightning. If you have Stormkeeper going, then you're pressing your Chain Lightning buff. But generally speaking, you want to be pressing Flame Shock and Primordial Wave into your Lava Burst because you want it to trigger Deeply Rooted. So that's it, guys. I'll show you once again. Deeply Rooted plus Necro. Here are my talents that I chose, and here is my Soulbind. It was I did use Plague Device or Merilith for more mastery. Again, probably don't need it necessarily, but then I ran Shake the Foundations, Call of Flame, and Tumbling Waves, of course. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I think that this build is going to be so much fun in Season 4. And just I love that you can basically tune it however you want, right? You could do like a crit build where you're just hoping to get your legendary to proc, the deeply rooted elements to proc, because when you're in your ascended form, your lava bursts actually get more damage based on your critical strike chance. So if you're scaling crit in with your secondary buffs that you're getting from the Dreadlords, then you're actually buffing the damage of your lava burst when it triggers. So that's a really cool interaction. You could go haste for just ridiculous speed, where you just literally have no cooldown on lava burst. You're just pressing it over and over and over again, and you're casting really fast. I'm gonna try that in my next dungeon. So let me know what you guys would try. What stat would you pick with this build? And let me know if you try this build in your dungeons and how well it performs for you. That's it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Drop a like if you like these videos, and subscribe if you haven't already. Guys, we're really, really close to 2,000 subscribers, and I've been telling everybody in the last couple of videos that I've been doing that if we get to 2K subscribers, I'm going to do a 24-hour stream on my Twitch. So if you want me to do this 24-hour stream and tune in for that, we're at 1.98K subscribers right now. We're like 20 subs away, so I want to push for that. Tell your friends, get them to sub, okay? Thank you so much again for watching. I love you all, and I will see you in the next one.